Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is Ogo Reality, and you guys, today we're going to talk about a soft life. I know this is one topic in which I have refrained to talk about for as long as this type of lifestyle existed and for as long as I have heard about it. Anyway, you guys, I believe that I'm not the only one who thought that there was qualifications into living a soft life, and I decided that I'm going to just try and find out what a soft life is. I think before I could even take you any far, first off, let us go to the description of what a soft life is. When I googled on the internet to find out what a soft life means, the internet describes soft life as the life of comfort, relaxation, with minimal challenges and stress. And it further says this lifestyle is an intentional lifestyle where happiness and peace is a priority. And I think, you guys, as per the description, you and I can tell, and here you guys, this is when I actually realized that it is not about the type of mind that one has to qualify to live a soft life. It is upon understanding the description that I tend to say, okay, maybe I can live a stress-free life and I can live a peaceful and life of relaxation. With that being said, you guys, there were things that I had to intentionally implement in my life. And as you know, you guys, we live a very busy life, and some of us, we single parents, some of us, we are married, some of us, we are working, some of us, we are not working. And how can one really live a soft life? If maybe you are one person who believed, as much as I did, that there is a certain qualification for a person to live a soft life. I believed that one just can't wake up and start living a soft life. I thought there was a certain type of criteria in which I will fall under for me to qualify into living soft life. Upon watching different videos on YouTube and actually following certain people who were living a soft life and who were like romanticizing it, that is why I also thought that I should tap in and find out if soft life is not something that I can implement, and actually find out if there is a certain qualifying criteria, how far am I from qualifying to live a soft life. Anyway, you guys, I will say anybody can live a soft life. There are things that I intentionally had to implement, there are things that I had to intentionally stop doing, and things that I had to let go of, things that I had to unlearn for me to be part of the trendy lifestyle of living a soft life. The first thing that I did was putting myself first. I made myself a priority. That means I had to sit down and really define what was important to me, because if I was to make myself a priority, you guys, that would mean whenever I have to do something that was going to putting myself last or make me feel uncomfortable to do, or maybe attend an event in which does not go with my standard, does not go with my religion, it does not speak to me, then I had to decide whether I want to make myself comfortable first or I wanted to please other people, which is something that I'm still battling with. And I think the reason why I decided I'm going to start this journey of living a soft life, it is because of the very same reason. Since you guys, we are individuals and we are different, what is important to me will definitely not be the same thing that is important to you. If maybe for you what is important is a family, then do prioritize your family over anybody else. And another thing, you guys, that I had to implement in my life was also doing the hardest thing ever, because I'm a people pleaser. I had to unlearn my way of always being available for everybody, always agreeing to things that in normal circumstances I wouldn't possibly agree. Or if a person asked me for a favor, I wouldn't have responded a certain way if that person was a friend of mine. Maybe for a friend of mine, if maybe a friend of mine was going to ask me to borrow the money, knowing for a fact that the money is going to be committed somewhere, I would have possibly said, no, my friend, I won't be able to borrow you a money. But say there comes a person that you respect. There are people that come to need a certain favors. Also, you guys, there is someone that actually admires me, and at the end of the day, the very same person who admires me comes and needs their financial assistance. In normal circumstances, I will never borrow someone money, maybe for the reason that maybe the person is not working, or maybe they are not even sure when they're going to return the money. By so saying, you guys, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be helping other people. We exist because of others. We exist because somebody else sacrificed their life. That is why some of us are born. And that is why some of us have children today. And that way, you guys, that means you can't live a full life if you can't be able to help others, and if you can't also seek assistance from others. And by the way, you guys, I'm one person who is a people pleaser. I really find it hard for me to refuse things that sometimes are not really sitting well with me. And if I can make you an example of one of the incidents in which I let myself to be available for everybody, at the end of the day, when I was the one who was in need of people's support, there was nobody that was there for me. I've always been available for my relatives. Whenever they needed me, I will allow myself to be available. I remember one day we were going to an unveiling, and it was about 600-700 kilometers away from home. And you guys, my cousins approached me. They actually wanted to know if I was going to attend the unveiling of the husband of one of our cousins. I was like, no, I won't be able to attend. But because you guys, I'm a people pleaser, I wanted to put a reason that was very much understandable. I started complaining that I don't have money, I'm not going to go to the unveiling. But the truth be told, you guys, I didn't feel like going. It was one time that I believed I should have listened to my guts, because in all honesty, you guys, I didn't want to go to the unveiling. I didn't feel like going there. There were a lot of things that were happening in my life then, and I didn't want to go. So me putting funds as the reason why I can't go to the unveiling actually made them to come up with a solution, and the solution was that they will pour the petrol. They just need me to just drive and take me there. So which in turn, actually, I didn't have any more reasons. I just couldn't say I don't feel like going. So I allowed myself to leave. And you guys, when we were halfway to our destination, we had an accident. By the grace of God, you guys, nobody died during that accident, but my mirror was badly damaged. And I remember everybody in the car saying, no, don't worry, we will help you to replace the mirror. And to this day, you guys, none of those people has ever been able to help me. None of them ever even came forward to say, here is our contribution towards you fixing the mirror. If my memory still serves me right, you guys, it took me about 6 months before I was able to replace the mirror, because unfortunately I could not find it anywhere cheaper than 2,500. So one thing that I'm doing right now, on my way to unlearn being a people pleaser, I decided that I'm not going to agree or disagree to anything right away as a person comes with their issue. If somebody comes with an issue, they presented their issue on the table, I will allow myself to go and think about it overnight and then give them a feedback. If a situation needs a response right away, then I shouldn't commit myself to things that I know that I won't be able to. Another thing that I had to implement, you guys, or another thing that I had to be intentional about, was to practice self-care. Self-care is key to each and every one of us. In life, we honestly cannot pour from an empty cup. That way, you guys, during my busy day, I always try to find a time and find a space in which I can sit down and relax, in which I can sit down and drink my tea. If that is what brings me relaxation, I will then drink a tea. Then if it is not a tea, I will then take some time to watch my favorite channel. Take some time to watch a 10-20 minutes clip or 10-20 minutes video on YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot, and I follow a lot of people that inspires me, who actually make me look at life differently. And most of the time, you guys, I like to invest some time into my appearance. As a skincare girly and a beauty queen, you guys, how I appear to the world for me is key. It's something that is important. So therefore, I find ways in which I can revive my style, ways in which I can make myself look good. Because you guys, when I look good, I definitely feel good. And sometimes, you guys, for no reason, I will just light a candle in a room, just sit down, relax, listen to a music. I have a Bluetooth speaker that has a radio. I'll just listen to my favorite radio station and listen to my favorite program, listen to my favorite music as a way to wind down and relax. I find it easy for me to prioritize self-care more than anything in my life. Self-care comes first, because you guys, I'm one person that I once suffered a lot from depression. So I know that taking care of my life, my health, my well-being, my appearance is some of the things that feels like therapy. Self-care for me is a priority, and definitely is key. And you guys, another thing that I did as part of my soft life journey, I decided that I'm going to avoid people that are toxic in my life. I'm going to just allow myself to be around people that loves me, people that makes me feel good. And I think that is one thing that we owe to ourselves. You can't always associate with people that are degrading you. I had to cut out on a few friends. I hope that they're not going to be watching this, but it's fine. Now they know why I'm no longer available for them. It is because, you guys, if you started to see me not as your friend, you started to see me as someone that is up and high. And anyway, you guys, especially when you are someone that knows my struggle, you're someone that I flourished right in front of you. And one day when the sun started to shine on me, you started to look at me a different way. You started commenting like an enemy. Then I think I will regard you as an enemy. I will no longer regard you as a friend. Because I don't believe that if you're a friend of mine that will say hateful comments instead of encouraging me. I don't mind people telling me a brutal truth. And also there is a difference between telling someone what they want to know and telling someone the honest truth. Even if it hurts, let the person know the truth. But avoid people that will not tell you what is true, but people that will assume the wrong things about you and spread the lies. So I would say, you guys, avoid people that are toxic, avoid companions that are not good for your health. Even if it means you being in a relationship, you guys, if the relationship is not bringing you any growth, is not giving you any joy, leave that relationship, you guys. It is best to be happy by yourself rather than to be with a partner and always have to solve issues. Avoid those type of situations, you guys. There are always many fishes in the water, you guys. You can always find someone that is perfect for you. Sometimes you are delaying your time into finding the right partner while you allow yourself to be trapped around someone that does not appreciate you. And really, you guys, if you are intentional about wanting to live a soft life, you avoid such people, you avoid such relationships, because the definition of soft life, it means life of happiness and peace, life of intention, not to be stressed. Though we know that in general a normal life will have stress, don't let the stress to be something that you have an option and you decided to stay. Another thing, you guys, will be building a routine. I find that building a routine makes my life much easier. You know, I'm one person who believes in scheduling, so I mean building a routine. I don't mean you need to make every hour of your day to be fully booked. Do write down on your schedule some of the things that you want to put as part of your routine, as part of your self-care, as part of your soft life. Ensure that you follow a certain routine that will train your body, your mind and spirit to get accustomed to. In sense, the reason for me to start scheduling was to actually make my life much easier, was to allow myself not to always be stressed about forgetting things. I made scheduling part of my routine so that I'm able to write things that matters to me, things that I have to undertake, things that I don't need to be forgetting. Because forgetting means I'm going to be stressed, I'm going to have anxiety. And but you guys, building a routine means even if you went away, if you are going to spend the evening out, building a routine, you will know that before you sleep, you're going to wash your makeup. Before you sleep, you're going to take your chamomile tea, if that is your way of relaxation. Because you have a routine, you know that by 8 o'clock I need to be home. That means you will leave your friends and you will go home to go and do your routine. And allow yourself some time to rest. You guys, there is nothing that I hate like waking up tired because I didn't sleep last night. And one thing about me, you guys, is that sleeping is luxury. Resting, sleeping is something that is luxury, so it's something that I make time for. It's something that I have invested in. I made sleeping a priority. I made a routine that 8 o'clock I'm already in my bedroom. Even if I'm not asleep 8 o'clock, I'm in my bedroom. Because you guys, once I'm not in my bedroom around 8 or around 9, 10 o'clock, I won't be able to fall asleep. It will even be 4 o'clock in the morning. I will still be battling to fall asleep. So I'm not sure how many of you have ever been sick and just to go to the doctor for a random sickness, maybe a headache. Then the doctor end up giving you antidepressant and sleeping pills because you are not resting enough. The reason why you are sometimes sick, the reason why your health is like shaking is because you're not resting enough. So making it a priority and putting it in your routine and putting sleeping, resting as part of your routine, you guys, will make your life much easier. It's one way of enjoying the soft life. Another thing, you guys, though I know it may not be the cheapest for most of us and some of us we are unable to, I like to buy myself gifts, so I make it a habit that I always celebrate some of my achievements, no matter how small they are. I really like to recognize my small wins. That allows me to feel good and it actually encourages me to do more and actually reach some of the goals that I intend to achieve. By gifts, you guys, I don't mean just go out and buy yourself some expensive phone. It's something that I do once in a while. I allow myself to get myself an expensive device, maybe in 2 to 3 years. But in between, you guys, I will buy the small things during the time when I know that I don't have enough money to go and spend on makeup and there is a product that I would like to try out. I will set myself a goal and say, upon achieving this type of goal, I'm going to reward myself by getting myself that concealer that I really want to test out. It's something that I actually started long ago. Every time, before I could even cater for anybody, before I could even go buy the clothes for my kids, I become the first on the line. Say you guys, you are the breadwinner in your home or you are a breadwinner in your family. Always caring or catering for other people and then you put yourself as the last thing. It's easy to do that, especially if you're the only person that is working at home. For me to make that one to be a little bit easy without me feeling like I'm pouring too much and them feeling like a burden to me, I try to reward myself first before I could even buy anybody. If I know that I'm going to buy winter clothes for my kids, I'll go in the store and check out a nice warm jacket or nice shoes that I'm going to buy for myself before I could even take my kids to get them their clothes. That is one way I make myself feel appreciated. I make myself feel rewarded before I could even pour on other people. And this is when pouring from an empty cup comes from, you guys. You can't give unless you have started with yourself. Another thing, you guys, that I know for most of us, especially in nowadays life, you guys, it is hard for us to eat healthy. It is hard for us to even sleep, because you find that some people have to work extra hours, and myself as well, you guys. I sometimes battle to keep a healthy diet and to sleep on time, because sometimes, you guys, if you have a channel and you know that I'm following you, sometimes you find in my comment 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 12 o'clock midnight. So like I said earlier, when you are not sleeping well, you are most definitely going to invite a lot of sickness. Your body responds differently. You are actually messing up some of your hormones. I don't mean just eat and relax, don't go anywhere. I mean, eat well, sleep well, exercise if you can. And if you're unable to exercise, take a walk. If you're unable to take a walk, just do a yoga. I have started doing a yoga, and anyway, you guys, since December last year, I have started doing cardio workouts that are very soft, that are good for people that are beginners, because you guys, I have few chronic sickness that actually makes me unable to exercise vigorously. I'm unable to do intense exercise, therefore I can do cardio workouts. And sometimes I just make sure that I count my steps during the day. I allow myself to climb the steps. Sometimes I even allow myself to get up during lunch just to walk around, sometimes to just walk in the stores, because it's easy when you're driving to always drive from one place to another and never really walk. And if you are one person that is like me, when you enter your house on Friday, you're most likely to get out on Monday. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is to try and do some of the house chores by yourself, not intense, so that you're not too tired. Another thing, you guys, is that I started being mindful of the type of content that I'm consuming online, be it on television and sometimes on TikTok. I actually stopped being on TikTok because I will see that once I watched one video on TikTok, I was unable to fall asleep. It was simply because I didn't have a lot of control. Therefore, I did away with the TikTok app as well as Instagram app. Those are the apps that I decided that I'm going to remove, because you guys, once you see one video, the next video, you are unable to fall asleep. You are unable to do some of the things that you wanted to do. Even on YouTube, I decided I'm going to check a certain type of videos, because you guys, sometimes watching certain contents on YouTube can actually lead you to being broke, lead you to be bankrupt. Because one thing about me, you guys, is that whenever I see a new product, sometimes I'm tempted to buy it, and sometimes I will take some of my last money and just go and buy. When I noticed my habits, I said I'm going to follow certain people, I'm going to consume a certain type of content, I'm going to avoid certain programs on TV, because I could see that sometimes you want to live certain lifestyle. People go in a higher apartments and then they will say this empty apartment store. So sometimes people that are influencing us in the social media, we really need to be mindful of the content that we are consuming, because sometimes you can be influenced by someone who's not even living the life that they're trying to lead you to. Another thing, you guys, as part of your journey or as part of living a soft life, learn to change your scenery. And that way, you guys, I know you always see me film in my makeup room. You always know what my background is like. Now, when I'm talking about a different topic, and I want to shift your mind from makeup, and I want to shift your mind into the topic in which I would like to share with you, most of the time you will see me changing the scene, because I would like you to have a different perspective about me. Because every time you see the background that I have in my makeup room, you're always thinking like royalty is going to teach about makeup, but every time you see me sitting somewhere, you know that the topic is going to be different. We're going to do something that we've never done before. We're going to talk about a different thing. So always change scenery. Even at work, you guys, during lunchtime, get out of the office. If you are one person that doesn't have friends in the office, go outside and take a walk and come back to the office. That way, you guys, it is going to give you a fresh pair of eyes. You may even come back with a much better solution to the problem that you had in the office, or you may even look at your desk a different way. Maybe if it is admissible in the workplace to decorate your office, make your workspace to feel like you, to represent you. If you know that you don't like your workplace, the people there are toxic, just an unpleasant place to be, make it interesting for you, because who knows, you may even spend the rest of your life working there. You may even go on pension working there. So make the most of it, so that even when somebody enters the office, you are on leave, people cannot just sit on your desk, because they will know that this desk looks like it's already been occupied. It's occupied by a person of this type of character, of this type of aesthetic. So make your work environment feel like you. Now, as I was sitting and preparing for this type of video, and I was even thinking like, oh, what more can I add as part of the things that I did in living my soft life. Anyway, you guys, it is buying online. I'm one person that I hate queues. I used to queue up when I was in tertiary. I used to be in long queues and I hated it. I don't like to go in the stores during the time where everybody is shopping. If at all I have to go shopping, you guys, and I know that there is no way that I'm going to shop except to be there physically and buy some of the things, I will choose a location in which I know that there is not a lot of people during a certain time. Sometimes, you guys, during month end, everybody is in the shops. You will queue from one shop to another, and when you get home, you are tired, you are unable to even cook, you are unable to do some of the things that you were intending to do, and you end up spending a lot of time on screen watching TV. To avoid some of those things, shop online, even if it's grocery, because nowadays I know there are a lot of shops that are allowing for people to shop online. And I'm saying that to say, you guys, if you really think that soft life is for other people, I'm here to say that everybody can live a soft life. I remember a few years ago, you guys, I used to be very tired. I used to have a constant pain on my shoulders because I was working so hard during the day, all week at work, and I will be coming home to cook every day. During the weekend, I will be cleaning the house, doing the laundry, filming, editing, and you guys, it was so very stressful for me. Even though, you guys, laundry and cleaning is just part of things that I cannot avoid, I have to do it. We are a generation that lives in the times where we don't have much support, but if you are able to get as little support as you can, utilize the opportunity. There will be a time when there is nobody to assist you. If you are able to get assistance for other things or other chores in your house, if you can pay someone to come maybe and clean the house one day a week, then go ahead and do that. If you can have someone come and do the laundry one day a week, then go ahead and do that. If you still have a mother, let your mother to look after your kids while you do other stuff. If you are a content creator, while you do your content, let your mother to look after your kids. That is what I used to do when my mother was still alive. But right now, you guys, like I said, we are a generation that doesn't have support anymore, be it financially and otherwise. We are one generation that we are struggling on our own. So that way, you guys, I'm saying that to say everybody who wants to live a soft life can. It does not leave a financial qualification for anyone to live a soft life. You don't live your life under stress. You can make your life a stress-free life by avoiding toxic people, by choosing your battles, by agreeing to things that you're supposed to agree, by unlearning some of the habits, the cultures you find yourself living. With that being said, you guys, if you learned anything and if you feel inspired by this video, go ahead and give us a big thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. I always post one video weekly, but during the day in which the Lord has blessed us, we get 2 videos a week. And let me see you in another video. This is your Reality signing off.